All right, today we're looking at the Sony Party Shot. This is a really cool little gadget. I definitely got to call it a gizmo and a gadget. It's not really like an appliance or anything, but basically what this thing does, as you can imagine, is it takes pictures for you automatically. You put your camera right there on that thing, and it's going to swivel around, find targets and subjects and track their faces, and intelligently, which is the key word here, take photos of them. By intelligently, I mean it doesn't just detect movement, point in that direction, and shoot a shot. It literally tracks up to 12 simultaneous faces. It basically autofocuses on all of them, and it uses the rule of thirds to compose the shot. Now, the rule of thirds, if you don't know, is basically a very simple rule. If you have ever taken a picture and they all suck, you're probably not using the rule of thirds. It's more of a rule. It's kind of like a guideline, not per se a rule that you have to follow. But basically, put it this way. Let's say that there's a cross right here, and it splits the screen into thirds. And then you have another two here, and it splits this into thirds and this into thirds. You want to put your subjects on the cross points. That's what this camera does. That's how you compose an image so that it looks nice and pretty. So basically, this thing is figuring that out. How it does it, I don't know. Some crazy technology. It must be really freaky. DARPA must have made it, but it works incredibly well. Now, if you're using some of the later cameras like the TX1 and the WX1 from Sony, those are the more advanced ones. They actually have modes that are designed to work with this. You basically put it in party mode, you stick it on here, and it's going to go a step beyond. It's going to use that facial recognition. It's going to use the smile detection so that if a bunch of people stand in front of this thing, get together and smile, it's going to automatically take a picture. It knows, and guess what? If somebody blinks, it'll take a second picture, and then you have two. It's really, really smart. But that only works with the latest cameras. Now, as far as cameras that it does work with, normally there's a whole list. You got to go on their website. You can figure it out because there's too many for me to talk about them all right now. But basically, there's a whole bunch that have the basic functionality, and then there's a couple, at least according to what I read, that say that it does use the more advanced features like the smile detection, the blink warning, etc., so that you don't get bad photos and it knows when to take the photo. Very, very cool. Now, real quick, take on a brief tour just so you can see this thing. It's basically like a little camera dock on a Lazy Susan. So you stick your camera right here. Now, not every Sony DSC CyberShot has the exact same plate. So what this thing does is it comes with all these little adapters, and there's a whole bunch of them, as you're going to see. Here you go. There's a whole bunch, and that means you can fit just about, I think it's like 15 cameras that fit on here, and it's the most popular, most modern Sony cameras, so ones that a lot of people are going to be having. On the back, you are going to see that it does have a little port there. It does have a input for power. Now this thing does run on batteries, so I'm going to show you the battery compartment over here. You can put two AA's in there and run it off batteries, which makes it really cool. This is the part that rotates around on the motor. I'm not going to move it because I'll be killing the motor, but put your batteries in there, and it's going to run for a long, long time, taking pictures automatically, which is really, really cool. There's also a couple optional features, which I won't really get into, but one of them is an AC adapter, so it doesn't come with it in the box. Keep that in mind. If you want to plug in the AC adapter, it does not come in the box, but it doesn't really matter because it runs for so long off just batteries. Now, if you want, there is a menu button back here. This will allow you to kind of take a little bit of control over this thing. Manually set the rotation angle, the shooting frequency, and the flash. If you want to take it pictures, every 5 seconds, it might get a little bit annoying. You want to back it off, make it take a picture every 2 or 3 minutes. It will do that. So very, very cool as far as that's concerned. And that's basically it. It's a great product. It's really cool, and its best part is basically that it's going to get you out of the viewfinder and into the party. You do not have to be there taking the photos all the time. It's very, very cool. So there you have it, the Sony Party Shot. If you have any questions on it, feel free to email me, and I'll see you guys next time. For more information on the Sony Party Shot, type in S08-3812 into any major search engine.
Yeah.